Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another Let's Play of the Men of Yoshiwara, Kikuya. We are on Kagura's path, and have now reached Chapter 11, Genomon-san. So just sit back and let me read you a story. I was waiting for Kagura-san at Inari Shrine. I did my best to choose a place where few people would come, because by all means I wanted to keep today's meeting a secret from Kagura-san. Ah, Kagura-san.
I know it's you. Please, don't wave your hand so much.
Perhaps I got too excited. Kagura-san reproached me, and I quickly recoiled. Thank you. And I'm so sorry for asking this of you.
You really should be. This has caused me quite a bit of trouble. Why should I go through such trouble for you? I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for something that would make Kagura-san happy.
As soon as I met him, he said harsh things to me like he always did. It seemed like he had to do this to calm down. I'm really sorry. Though I had started to get used to it, it still made me recoil somehow. And today I recoiled especially in reaction to my request.
Well, it's fine though. Here it is. I wrote down what you asked me to here.
Thank you. He gave me the paper with a sullen look on his face, and I took it from him with a smile. Great, you're the only person that I could have asked to do this. You've really helped me out. I said thank you to him again with a smile. Then Kagura-san quickly looked away from me. He's blushing. It looks like his cheeks were blushing. What happened to him? Is he starting to fall for me? Kagura-san?
It's nothing. Anyway, I've given this to you just as you asked. Could you check its contents too?
While still puzzled by the fact that Kagura-san still had his face turned away from me, I opened the paper that he gave me and looked inside. Wow, what beautiful handwriting.
Is that what you're looking at?
Ah, you're right. I'm sorry. I said something unnecessary again. I pulled myself together and started to look at it. And there was... It's great! I didn't expect you would write it so neatly for me. Kagura-san looked satisfied and finally turned his face towards me.
But what are you going to do with this?
I don't want to make the same mistake again. What I asked Kagura-san to do was to make me a list of books that Kagura-san owns. Of course, I asked him to keep it secret. Never again did I want to mistakenly buy a book that Kagura-san owned. To avoid this, I needed a list of books, and I thought that Kagura-san was the only person that I could ask to do this.
But these books are pretty expensive. Wasn't the book that you bought for him the other day fairly expensive?
Kagura-san knitted his brow and asked me this. It certainly was expensive, but at the time I bought it, thinking that it was worth the price.
If you're not answering, then I guess I must be right, but you're still trying to buy another one. Is that okay for you?
Kagura-san looked at me to search my feelings. I'm okay.
Are you sure? Even though you're the daughter of a rich merchant, can you pay for so many things with your allowance?
I was ashamed to hear that. I haven't revealed my true identity yet. I actually have to go out of my way to pay for these things. So I was really ashamed to hear that. Really, it's okay. Thank you very much for your concern. Then Kagura-san let out a deep sigh of disappointment.
You are the same as Kagura-san, aren't you?
What?
I mean, it will make your life easier to open your mind to people around you a little more. That's it. Well, I'm going then.
Oh, I was about to ask him questions again, but Kagura-san quickly turned around. I felt that there was something stuck in my mind. But like Kagura, I also left.
Now please, take a good healthy look. If you find something you want, you can consult with me.
While Genomon was staying there, the street became very crowded. Of course, oil and alcohol merchants were present. Customers heard about it from merchants, then those customers also bought other customers. For Genomon-san, when the range of his business connections increased like this, he had more chances to get imported and famous items for himself. It was a really good system.
Whether products are humans, I won't understand them unless I spend time with them. After I spend time with them, that's when I'll get a good eye for them.
That was Genomon's favorite phrase.
Well then, Misao-chan, I'll listen to your secret offer.
Genomon-san landed with a thud as he sat into a cross-legged position and then smiled at me. The reason why I even asked him to come to my room, it was because I have some items that I want you to collect for me. I showed Genomon-san the list of Kagura-san's books. I was planning to collect books while Genomon-san was here. As many books as I could, and the books that Kagura-san would most prefer.
Wow. Well, these are all great academic books. But to collect all of them is, well, fairly difficult.
That's just as I expected from Kagura-san. Only someone like him could have collected such great academic books. Though impressed by this, I frantically shook my head in disagreement. No, I don't want to collect these books. These are the books that he already has.
What? What a surprise. Are you saying that there's a person who already owns all these?
Yes, so I want to collect some books that haven't been written on this list. Ones equal to or greater in value to these books. Academic books that the reader of these books would want. Those are the kind of books I want. Then Genomon-san looked at the list for a long time.
So, the Western Studies book that you got before, was that for the owner of these books?
Yes.
But if he collected all these books, didn't he also have that one?
Actually, yes, he did.
All right, leave it to me. I, Genomon-san, will give you a helping hand.
Thank you. And so it came to be that Genomon-san would prepare a new academic book for me. A few days later, I held an academic book close to my chest, and as usual, I was rushing to see Kagura-san. But one thing was different from the time before. I didn't have money anymore. I used a lot of money to buy this book. All I have left is... No, I can't think about it negatively like that. I should only think about the here and now, and my feelings for him. When I got to Kikuya, I was told that Kagura-san might be training, so I quickly made my way to Inari Shrine. When I arrived there, Kagura-san was in the middle of his training. Kagura-san noticed me first, followed by Kagero-san. Perhaps I was bothering them, but I was just too excited. I apologize. I'm sorry I have bothered you.
No, don't mind.
I don't have any intention to bother you guys, but I came here without even thinking about it. But when it came time to say something, somehow, I couldn't form words as I wanted to.
Shall I leave?
Kagero-san asked Kagura while he wiped away his sweat.
It doesn't really matter to me.
Then Kagura-san looked at me now. It doesn't really matter to me either, but I do have something I want to talk about.
Then I'm going back ahead of you. Is that okay?
Kagura-san nodded with his eyes in response to Kagero-san's question.
What do you want? You look oddly more formal than usual.
Kagura-san asked me that in a nonchalant manner as he tidied his clothes. Even though he had been swinging his bamboo sword until a moment ago, he was hardly breathing roughly at all.
If it's about tonight, you'd better talk to someone at the shop.
No, it's not about that. Kagura-san stopped what he was doing and looked at me. He slowly approached me and then stood right in front of me.
Don't make such an intense face. It doesn't suit you.
Kagura-san. But it's because I know it's going to be the last time. The last time with the one I love. That's what I'm thinking about as I stand here. So, what kind of face should I be making if it's not an intense one? But today's the last day. Those words were locked in my heart. I had been trying to get those words out until a moment ago. But since I wanted to see his smile today, I swore that I wouldn't tell him. To hide this from him, I don't know what to say. I want to see you right away. I wanted to see Kagura-san right away. It's not a lie. I always want to see Kagura-san whenever and wherever I am.
You are a passionate lady.
Kagura-san seemed to be surprised by my sudden words.
So, for tonight, are you coming to Kikuya?
It might be time for him to go back. Nightfall was approaching. Yes. When I said that, Kagura-san smiled at me like he was relieved. He gently pushed my back.
Shall we go together? I need to prepare for tonight, but can you wait for me?
Yes, of course. As we passed under the red gate at Inari Shrine, just then, I felt like I had smelled the aroma of the daffodil that I smelled the other day. I turned back, but there was no daffodil. As I wondered where the aroma had come from, I looked up at Kagura-san, and because he was smiling at me ever so gently, I thought that something like that wasn't that important. All that mattered right now was the warmth that was next to me. That's a bit of a mystery. Not sure if that was a good or a bad thing. Chapter 12, The Love Like a Mother.
Well, today Misao-san is giving a big treat.
Everyone in the parlor room erupted with excitement at Iroha-san's words. Of course, Kagura-san and Kagero-san were there. And Takeyo-san and Tokiwa-san were also there. This will be the last time, since tonight would be our last time together. I thought that this was the least I could do, so I asked Iroha-san to hold a banquet tonight. So I hoped. I hoped today would be the most enjoyable and memorable banquet yet. Everyone in this room now, I had at least a few memories with each and every person. The time that I spent coming here was short, but my time here was very meaningful. If I recall each memory, it feels like tears will form and spill from my eyes, so I just tried to act cheerful. But...
Misao, what happened to you today?
Kagura-san asked me anxiously. Kagura-san was a very sharp person. I thought that he might sense something, but... What do you mean? What do you mean?
You're acting strange. You look like you're forcing yourself to do this. Are you?
He looked at me suspiciously, which made my heart beat loudly.
If something happened, could you tell me?
No, nothing really happened. Unable to look at Kagura-san's face directly, I turned away. I've already decided that I wouldn't tell him. I swayed over something like this. But as I thought about it, Kagura-san's glance felt painful. And just then...
Why won't you let me sit next to you? And you don't seem to be drawn to me at all. You're acting like such a girl.
Perhaps he's already drunk. Takeo-san hassled me with more force than ever before. And then he smoothly wrapped his hand around my waist. Takeo-san!
Ouch!
Kagura-san swiftly brushed Takeo-san's hand away. And then Takeo-san sniffed at him with dissatisfaction.
Have you already offered your beautiful body to Kagura?
This was right in front of Kagura-san. After he suddenly said that, I became extremely nervous. What are you saying all of a sudden?
You're still reacting like a virgin. Ah, I see. You still haven't done it, have you? You talk too much. You've become terribly sexy lately. So I just figured that Kagura-san took care of you.
A bewitching smile came across his face, and this gave me the chills. I felt like my entire body would become hot with shame. And then I didn't notice he was next to us, but Tokiwa-san was also listening to our conversation, while nodding in agreement.
You guys are really taking your time. How could a famous courtesan not sleep with a regular client of his? Well, he's either really slacking off or... Maybe he's seriously in love. It must be one or the other.
Seriously in love? When I heard that, my heart made a surprisingly loud noise. Without thinking, I looked at Kagura-san, but... Kagura-san was as expressionless as ever. He neither confirmed nor did he deny it. So in other words, he didn't even think about me seriously. Is that what it means? I slowly turned my face down. Until a moment ago, I was trying my best to keep firm. And I kept on for this long, but...
What happened to you, miss?
The person who looked straight into my face was Tokiwa-san, not Kagura-san. Nothing...
Did you get drunk on sake? Oh, that's serious. Well, I guess I'll take care of you then.
Huh? Tokiwa suddenly touched my cheeks. I panicked about what I should do. Kagura-san. Kagura-san. I was at my wit's end, so I asked Kagura-san for help. Then...
You better stop it now.
Kagura-san's sharp voice launched out at them.
Even if it's a banquet, what good would come of making the client uncomfortable?
The room fell silent.
Exactly. If two famous gentlemen in this red light district can't even entertain one client, wouldn't that make Kikuya a laughingstock?
Kagura-san nodded to Kagero-san, as if to tell him well said.
Geez, you trained him well. Really, it must be nice to have a good assistant like you do, Kagura-san. Hey, you should talk. I'm not your assistant. You are my assistant. No, I'm not. You don't let up, do you? I'd really like to sew that cheeky mouth of yours shut right now.
Everyone.
If you guys have no intention of contributing to the entertainment, then I will ask you to leave. You heard him. Takeo-san and Tokiwa-san, would you leave the room now? No, I don't want to. Tokiwa will dance now. That'll be entertaining enough, right? What, me? I think they meant Tokiwa, not Iroha. I don't know, I'm confused. What's going on here? Come on, dance and sing. Isn't it great? You can do what you like.
Then Takeo-san took the shamisen by his side and started to play. It was far different from his usual arrogant attitude. The melody that he played was very delicate and beautiful. I gasped with surprise. Kagura-san, who was next to me, sighed deeply.
Here we go. All right, I'll dance too.
His bewitching expression that he had when he tried to seduce me was nowhere to be found. Tokiwa displayed a different friendly smile and stood up. Then, in that instant, the air in the room completely changed. It was unlike any gentleman of the night that I had seen before. He was so gorgeous, alluring, sexy, and beautiful. Kagura-san casually poured sake into my cup as I was carried away watching his dance. The atmosphere was completely different from the way it was before. It made me wonder if this was what a real banquet at Yoshiwara was supposed to be like. As I thought this, I let out a deep sigh. Kagura-san, thank you so much. It was the end of this last moment. I was sincerely happy that they held a banquet like this for me, so without even thinking about it, I expressed my thanks.
I'm the one who would like to thank you. This is how you captivate everyone. Kagero, I've never seen him get attached to anyone other than me.
Oh no, I
think your heart is different from other people. You're very strong and kind.
Kagura continued to talk to me in a more fluid manner than ever before.
All the gentlemen here have something on their minds. Perhaps everyone feels relieved when they're around you. Would it be rude of me to say that you're like a mother?
Kagura-san smiled and looked at me. I shook my head slowly. Kagura-san gently and slowly narrowed his eyes, and then he looked around at the gentlemen in the room, and looked back at me again.
I am grateful. You heal everyone and make them smile, so to me, you're just dazzling.
I felt a slight squeezing pain in my chest, like something was strongly grabbing my heart. Around the time that I had just met Kagura-san, he said to me at that time, too, that I was dazzling. For me, Kagura-san is so dazzling. The world he lives in, this red light district, the gentlemen of the night here, everyone, they're all very dazzling. Someone was laughing. Then I heard someone clap their hands in a rhythmic fashion. What a happy and fulfilling time this is. I will surely keep this moment in my heart and keep strong after this, even without Kagura-san. Firmly I will walk down my own path. I rushed to wipe away the tears that rolled down my cheek, and then I smiled. I want to see your dance too, Kagura-san.
My dance? I agree. I want to see that too. Well then.
Kagura-san stood up. Our eyes met and we smiled at each other. I love Kagura-san, and that will never change. I will always love this person. Kagura-san started to dance beautifully. And soon after, the dreamlike banquet came to an end, and it was just the two of us left.
Aren't you tired after today? I'll massage your leg a little.
Huh? But, Kagura-san, I can't have you do something like that. This took me by surprise, so I frantically declined his offer, but...
Don't worry, I learned about pressure points from a Western Studies book.
He grabbed my ankle and pulled me. No, And then, without a single change in his expression, Kagura-san started to massage my leg. His movements were smooth. Kagura-san's fingers crawled up from my feet with just the right amount of strength. With a serious look on his face, he moved his hands. Kagura-san, you really don't need to.
Your legs will feel sluggish the day after you've drunk alcohol. But if you massage them like this, it will be totally different.
I see. No, I was about to be taken in by his story.
We always take care of our legs like this. You have such beautiful legs, so you should do this too.
Beautiful. Oh, that's right. Kagura-san is touching my legs now. The feeling of embarrassment swelled up inside of me again. But the comfort of the massage made me more and more relaxed. After massaging my ankles, he moved on to my calves. And then he went back to my ankles again. It feels so comfortable. But what was this impatient feeling that was in direct opposition to my comfort?
You started to soften up.
Watching Kagura-san's flowing hand movements, even my heart seemed like it would soften. Would he sleep with women in such a gentle manner as this? Is he sometimes gentle and sometimes strong? Did he sleep with a lot of women? With such a kind and peaceful face? When I thought about it, I suddenly came back to reality. Just what was I thinking about?
What happened? Your face looks so red.
No, it's nothing. I couldn't look straight into his face.
If that's so, then that is good.
Kagura-san silently massaged my legs. I should stop thinking about so many things, because if I let a lot of things come out into my mind, it'll just make it really hard for me.
It's okay to sleep like this.
But tonight's my last night. While thinking that, I nodded in agreement.
I want to touch your skin like this forever.
Kagura-san, I couldn't even ask what he meant by that just now. I looked at the shadow of his eyelashes that fell upon his sorrowful eyes. And as I looked at this, I imagined it was clear that he loved me. And that's why we had yet to cross that line. Though I felt like I couldn't sleep at all, I quietly closed my eyes. I just tried to remember the touch of Kagura's soft fingers, and after that, Kagura-san took his hands away from me. I pretended to sleep. He laid me down and then laid himself down next to me. He gently combed my hair and caressed my cheeks. I wanted so badly to open my eyes right away and hug him, but perhaps the reason that I couldn't was because I was scared. Perhaps I was scared to be rejected by Kagura-san. After that, I made sure that Kagura-san was asleep, and then I placed the academic book that I had obtained next to his pillow. And I quietly left Kikuya in the middle of the night. Goodbye, Kagura-san. And those are our 2 chapters for the night. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I hope to see you in some future videos. I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.